After transmigrating into an ABO world, I was misunderstood to be a sea king. The protagonist Beta believed I was a resolute and patient Omega, who wouldn't utter a sound even when bitten. The protagonist Omega, however, saw me as an alpha with extraordinary self-control, whose face remained unchanged even in the presence of a top-tier Omega's pheromones. Passers-by thought I was a playboy dating 8 people a day, but I was just an ordinary person, constantly overwhelmed by all sorts of scents. Why are these two suddenly fighting over me? Come on, let's hear the whole story. After accidentally entering the wrong restroom for the 3rd time, because this world has too many gender types, I saw a young man shivering and cowering in a corner. His eyes were red-rimmed, and his voice trembled. Don't come closer. My heat is coming. The scent of oranges filled the restroom, so intense it felt like swimming in an ocean of oranges. I hesitated for a moment, then took off my jacket and approached him. The young man looked desperate, on the verge of collapse. What do you want to do? I won't submit. I'd rather die. He stared in disbelief at my open jacket, which was stuffed with various suppressants. I decisively knelt on one knee and pulled out a stack, offering it to him. Do you need injectable or tablet form? Buy 2, get 20% off. Buy 3, get 30% off. Emergency situation. How about I help you with a buy now, pay later deal for 1 order? He gritted his teeth. Give me 1 of each. All right. A moment later, the young man had calmed down, his delicate small face slightly flushed. My name is Leo. Let's be friends. If it's convenient, could you tell me the brand of these? The ones I used before mysteriously stopped working. I nodded, pulled out my phone, secretly complaining to myself. Of course. After all, this is a novel world where all plot developments are driven by suppressants losing their effectiveness, leading to intense situations. Angsty romance plotline? No problem, a good fight makes it sweet again. Storyline stuck? No problem, a good fight clears it right up. To avoid becoming part of this young couple's game, I specifically carried a bag full of suppressants every day, just in case. And sure enough, it came in handy, didn't it? The infirmary teacher said she'd be over in a bit, so I had to go back to class first. Before leaving, I thought for a moment and draped my jacket over his shoulders. The remaining scattered suppressants I casually tucked into his pant pocket. Leo must have originally intended to use water to cool down, as he was still soaking wet. Leo looked stunned, a little shy, wrapping himself in the jacket. Thank you. Your clothes smell so nice. I rushed off, vaguely hearing him say something about the smell of laundry detergent, so I casually replied, You like it? If you want it, just buy some, and you can smell it every day. Leo widened his eyes, his small face turning even redder. Buy it? Do alphas even offer this kind of service now? Leo began to feel a stir in his heart. The moment I stepped into the classroom, a strong scent of gunpowder hit me. It felt like 80 kids simultaneously setting off firecrackers right in my nose, making my eyes water. Cough, cough, what's going on? The scene was chaotic. My roommate, Liam, rushed out, his face pale. Hurry, an alpha lost control. Why do you smell so strongly of pheromones? Watch out behind you. Before he finished, I was tightly embraced by an arm, falling into a scorching embrace. So fragrant. Heavy breaths fanned my ear. My nape was pressed against something hard. I froze for a moment, then immediately pulled suppressants from my pocket and threw them to Liam. Inject it quickly. The blue vial. Hurry, he's about to bite me. Several people swarmed around, restraining the alpha, and finally managed to calm him down. I was squeezed so tightly my waist felt bruised. The pain made me want to fly away. Sorry. I looked up. The culprit had a rebellious face, a classic school delinquent look. He said hoarsely, It seems I bit you. I'll take responsibility for you. I rubbed my waist, wincing. It's fine, no need. I didn't lose any flesh. Just consider it me selling you a suppressant. No. The delinquent's face turned to me, his gaze complex yet resolute. My goof family isn't the kind to enjoy and then discard. Wait for me to discuss it with the adults in my family. What's going on? My waist ached, and my head started to hurt. I quickly tugged Liam's sleeve. Liam got the hint, coughed twice. We'll talk about the rest later when we get back. I'll take Asher to the infirmary first. While the school doctor was bandaging me, an acquaintance walked in. Leo, you look much better now, don't you? I smiled, greeting my big customer, accidentally touching my wound, which made me wince in pain. Leo happily rushed over, but when he saw the wound on my neck, his eyes widened in shock. Asher, did someone force you? I knew immediately he misunderstood and quickly explained, no, it was just a classmate who lost control. You don't need to say anything, I understand. Leo interrupted me, gritting his teeth. Those alphas are all dogs. Your scent is so lovely. They must want to force you into a same-sex relationship. Asher can resist pheromones, so he must be a high-quality alpha. It's not surprising others would notice him. Thinking this, Leo grew even angrier, directly pulling out a card and holding it out to me. I was bewildered. Leo's face was flushed, not daring to look me directly in the eye, but his voice was firm. I'll support you. From now on, the Sue family has your back. Don't be afraid of those who try to force you. I was dumbfounded, quickly pushing the card back. It's not that serious, really, it's fine. I can still support myself, you know. He kept trying to give it to me, I kept refusing. He advanced, I retreated. Liam stood by, chuckling. The small infirmary became incredibly lively. Finally, I accidentally tripped, falling onto the bed with a yelp of pain. Leo approached, both worried and careful. What's wrong? Was I too hasty just now? Are you hurt? The distance closed, and the strong orange scent made me a little dizzy. Just as I was about to say something, there was a sudden commotion outside the door. Someone quickly walked in and pulled Leo away from me. Leo, what are you doing? I saw the delinquent's face. Leo frowned, looking very annoyed. Cody, are you crazy? What I'm talking about with Asher has nothing to do with you. Cody's face darkened. I came to find Asher too. He's sick and needs rest. Why are you still bothering him? Leo was so angry his hackles rose. I see. You're that dog alpha, aren't you? How dare you show your face here? They continued to bicker back and forth. I held my breath, weakly uttering the classic line, please, don't fight over me. After leaving the infirmary, Cody and Leo stuck by my side every day, as if afraid the other would gain any small advantage over me. On my right, Leo pulled me to talk, his voice warm and soft, his cat-like eyes sparkling. On my left, Cody explained lessons to me, his sleeves rolled up to reveal muscular arms, looking both calm and reliable. Leo wouldn't be outdone, getting closer and linking arms with me. You're so smart, unlike me, who only worries about your wound from that alpha bite. The bitter orange scent and the overwhelming gunpowder scent enveloped me, rushing into my nose and making my vision blur. I couldn't help but feel a sudden irritation and itch in my nose, and unconsciously, my eyes reddened, squeezing out a few tears. In my dizziness, I felt the surroundings suddenly go silent. A hand gently touched the tear tracks on my cheek. I instinctively turned my head, seeing Cody staring blankly into my eyes, unconsciously rubbing the wetness on his hand. My face flushed, embarrassed by my untimely physiological reaction. It happens to me sometimes. Sorry, let me get you some tissue to wipe it. Cody suddenly stood up. I watched in a daze as his earlobes turned bright red. I'm not criticizing you. I think you look beautiful when you cry. His voice grew softer and softer, his face redder and redder, a handsome guy about to turn into a tomato. I was surprised and about to stand up and pat his shoulder when a pair of hands pressed me back down into my seat. The warm orange scent drew near, Leo's worried voice softly brushing my ear. Are you uncomfortable? Do you want to go to the hospital to get checked? I turned my head. The next second, Leo gently lifted my face, wiped away my tears, his soft palm caressing my cheek. He looked at me intently, making me feel shy. After I explained my habit of tearing up whenever I smelled an irritating scent, Leo seemed to ponder something and then said, so that alpha isn't compatible with you. You only react like that when you smell his pheromones. You could say that. I was a bit confused, not knowing how to explain. After all, in this confusing ABO world, I, an alien from Earth, had a rather random gender every day. Leo's lips curved, and the orange scent beside me grew sweeter. I know. Come on, let's go eat at the cafeteria. It was then that I realized Cody had left at some point. The cafeteria wasn't crowded. As I walked, I was suddenly bumped hard by a red-haired person. I yelped in pain, turned around, and saw the person with gloomy eyes already walking away. Leo put down his tray and turned back, frowning. That red-haired guy seems to be an alpha who's been crazy about Cody. Asher, try to stay away from him from now on. After eating and returning to the dorm, my phone suddenly chimed twice. Someone was looking for me to deliver suppressants to a bar near the school. I quickly agreed, casually forwarding a screenshot of the conversation to Cody. The person who just asked me out, to prove I didn't ditch him. Cody, why this place? It's a bit chaotic here. I'll come find you right away. I was carrying a large bag. By the time I saw the message, I was already standing at the door. Hesitating for a moment, I thought I'd just deliver the items and then wait for Cody. As a result, he called directly. I'd never heard his voice so urgent. I answered while pushing open the private room door. Inside, there was only dim light. It didn't look like anyone was in heat as I'd imagined. I instinctively tried to retreat when a tall, red-haired figure I'd met once before slung an arm around my shoulder. He pulled me inside, and my head hit the wall hard. Cody's urgent voice still echoed from the other end of the line. What's wrong? Asher, speak. My phone was kicked away. The man casually squatted in front of me, squeezing my chin hard. I groaned, about to struggle, but my hands were held tight. His voice was full of malice. So you're the Omega who's been seducing Cody lately. You do have some looks. Let me see what special abilities you have. My wrists throbbed with sharp pain. I also smelled cheap car air freshener. That was the red-haired guy's pheromone. He saw my strange expression and thought his scent had captivated me, looking both smug and contemptuous. What, you like it now? He ran his hand over my cheek, as if choosing where to start, a truly disgusting sensation. I tried to suppress the nausea. Never having missed Cody's scent so much, the gunpowder scent was still more pleasant. Seeing I didn't answer, the red-haired guy squeezed my chin harder. What, playing dead? Speak up. The car air freshener wafted directly into my face, and I couldn't hold it in anymore. Looking at his face so close to mine, I was forced to open my mouth. Black, get away from me. Ugh. The red-haired guy's face darkened, while I vomited until I saw stars. The red-haired guy was furious. He tied my hands and threw me onto the sofa, then picked up a few vials emitting an ominous glow from beside him. I no longer had the strength to vomit, feeling uneasy inside, and tried to comfort him. Please calm down, we're just friends. He didn't answer, busying himself setting up a camera and then flashed a lewd smile. I got goosebumps all over, struggling violently, but he covered my mouth, restraining me. In my horrified eyes, the man injected a vial into my neck. I see he likes you. It's the first time I've seen him so close to anyone. He laughed strangely, his eyes filled with fanaticism. But when he sees you with an alpha's mark, how long will he still like you? Sooner or later, he'll only have me by his side. Although I wasn't affected by pheromone stimulants, this strong drug still made me feel a bit hot and nauseous. The hand covering my mouth loosened. I gasped for breath, feeling a bit dizzy. The red-haired guy's figure blurred. I cursed silently. The tape had already come loose. If it didn't work, I'd pretend to comply later. After it was over, I'd use the wine bottle on the table to knock him out. How could virginity be more important than my life? It was just a stupid video anyway. I gritted my teeth. Just as he was about to touch me, the private room door was violently kicked open. I heard a worried cry. Asher. The next second, the red-haired guy was kicked away, spitting out a mouthful of blood, cowering and groaning in the corner. The people who rushed in immediately pinned him to the ground, adding 2 more punches. I fell into an embrace full of gunpowder scent, held tightly by a strong pair of arms. Cody's panicked voice rang in my ear. Wake up. Don't sleep. Hearing the familiar voice, I struggled to stay awake, trembling as I grabbed Cody's hand. Remember to take my bag. That's my entire fortune. Immediately after, I couldn't bear it anymore and let my consciousness sink into sleep. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself lying in a hospital bed. Cody's eyes were dark-rimmed. Sensing my movement, he looked at me with a mixture of worry and caution. Feeling better? Don't worry, that guy has been caught. The doctor said those drugs had no effect on you because you don't have scent glands. I knew why he was so tense. In the ABO world, not having scent glands was akin to being disabled. But I breathed a sigh of relief. I originally didn't know how to explain it, so it was good that the doctor discovered it. I cautiously said, actually, I've known for a long time. I just didn't know how to tell you two before. So you don't need to worry about me so much. After all, I'm not an Omega. Before I finished, Cody raised his hand and covered my lips. I subconsciously closed my mouth. His fingers slid down, gently caressing the bruise on my neck. He said hoarsely, the doctor said that if nourished by high-quality pheromones, you might recover. This is the second time you've been hurt because of me. Don't refuse me. Let me do something for you. I looked at his lonely expression, the tingling sensation on my neck spreading to my heart. I really wanted to say this was useless. How could a pool that's simultaneously being filled and drained ever get full? But I just replied, okay. After packing up and being discharged from the hospital, Cody took me to a residential complex. As soon as we entered, a delicious smell of cooking wafted from the kitchen, followed by hurried footsteps. Leo rushed over, still wearing an apron, and hugged me tightly. He looked like he was about to cry. I fumbled to comfort him for a while, feeling a bit at a loss, looking around. Cody's firm voice came from behind me. The doctor suggested that both alpha and omega pheromones are needed to help you recover better. That's right. Leo looked up, his eyes red-rimmed, clutching my waist tightly. Asher, I'll definitely take good care of you. Cody put his arm around my shoulder, his warm chest pressing against my back. It's not just you. I was sandwiched between them, the fear from being tied up having vanished, replaced only by embarrassment so profound I wanted to dig a hole with my toes. Wait a minute, they already found out I'm not an AO, so why is this strange cohabitation plot still clinging to me? Leo eagerly took responsibility for buying my daily necessities. Cody wasn't to be outdone and came with us to the supermarket. On the shelf, there were some cute kitten-themed couple cups. Leo poked my pinky finger. What do you think of these? He asked sweetly. My cup hasn't been bought yet. Let's use new things together, okay? Cody put on his long-unseen delinquent face, grumbling, do I need to remind you about the cup someone threw away yesterday? Asher, someone so two-faced isn't a good choice. Leo was displeased and retorted, then who is it that spilled an entire glass of water on the bed sheets? Someone as scheming as you is even worse. Cody was startled for a moment, unconsciously looking left and right. Don't slander me. It was dirty, so I had to wash it. The supermarket was bustling with people. Two handsome guys surrounded one person and argued. Even the ants passing by stopped to watch. To quickly end this drama, my eyes lit up, and I pointed at the cups next to them. Let's use these. There are 3 of them, perfect for us. Leo and Cody turned to look. 3 ugly dog-shaped cups, each with a different design, were neatly arranged on the shelf. Forget about lovers. Even a hint of ambiguity would vanish under the gaze of these ugly dogs. Perhaps the only thing to worry about was whether I'd burst out laughing while holding the dog's head to brush my teeth. After paying and returning home, only I felt accomplished and satisfied. In the middle of the night, I lay in bed, rarely experiencing insomnia. There was a soft knock on the door. Cody pushed the door open, holding a bottle of soothing essential oil. I was a little surprised and moved over on the bed, making space for him. Cody lay down beside me, bringing with him a faint gunpowder scent, both deep and reassuring. His voice was a bit magnetic. His sharp, handsome features were softened by the faint yellow light. Initially, I really thought you were an Omega. That day when I bit you, I smelled a very pleasant scent. I was a bit curious too. Really? Maybe it rubbed off from somewhere. He shook his head, tilting his head closer, his nose seemingly brushing against my collarbone. It's your unique scent. Cody's gaze was gentle, unconsciously closing the distance between us. My face gradually reddened, feeling a bit overwhelmed. He parted his lips, no matter if you recover or not, actually, just as his nose was about to touch, To save my overloaded heart, I took a step back, stumbling off the bed. You go to sleep first. I'm going downstairs to use the restroom. He sat up, about to pull me back, but the room door was opened by someone else. Just then, Leo leaned against the doorframe, his delicate face seemingly darkened. He was holding a body pillow, looking at Cody still on my bed, gritting his teeth. I thought there was a mouse in Asher's room, but it turns out it's a big one. Cody remained as calm as ever. What are you doing here? Leo scoffed sarcastically. Of course, the same as you. What? Do you have a problem with that? Leo plopped down his body pillow and nudged my arm coquettishly. Asher, I guessed you weren't asleep yet. Do you want to sleep with me? The orange scent can help you sleep well. I looked at Cody, who appeared calm on the surface, but whose ears were perked up, and then at Leo with his innocent expression in front of me, taking a deep breath. Both of you go back to your rooms. My face expressionless, I pointed to the door. Otherwise, I'm moving back to the dorm tomorrow. Both of them froze, eventually obediently leaving the room. I lay down, the room became quiet again, and I fell asleep filled with anxiety. After some time, my classmates secretly started approaching me again. Old Ash, you're really popular now. Tell us, who do you actually like? I was silent for a moment, then said, theoretically, they should be into each other. The recent chaos had made me almost forget that Leo and Cody were the official main couple in the original story. The person opposite me put on a pained face. Don't scare me like that. What if they like each other and also like you at the same time? That's terrifying. Who would want to watch such an abstract love triangle? I chuckled. Luckily, they were both busy today, giving me a rare moment of peace to ponder the plot. On the way home from school, I walked and thought. According to the original timeline, a plot-driving character, an enthusiastic Omega, should appear around this time, breaking the stalemate between Cody and Leo. MMM. A few soft groans echoed. I turned to look at the small alley beside me and saw an Omega emitting pheromones lying there. I secretly took the person home. Luckily, neither Cody nor Leo were there. Even though I had injected him with suppressants, he was still in a weak phase. I couldn't bear to leave him alone in the alley after he had just stabilized a bit. Thank you. The little Omega sat on the sofa, a bit shy. I've contacted my friend. He'll come pick me up later. I nodded, my mind a little distracted. Perhaps this Omega's scent was a bit too strong. I'd been feeling something strange on the back of my neck ever since. Before I could think more, the main door clicked open. Cody walked in with a smile. Am I late? Asher, have you been waiting long? Who is this? The gunpowder scent around Cody gradually grew stronger. My scalp tightened. I was clearly doing a good deed, but why did it feel like I was caught red-handed? After the little Omega jumped up and explained, the gunpowder scent finally dissipated. I coaxed Cody, taking the bag of ingredients from his hand and heading to the kitchen. Cody squeezed in behind me, clinging to me like a little tail. I was caught between laughter and tears. What are you doing? I already explained it to you. His face darkened, his brows furrowed. His scent is too strong. You've gotten his pheromones on you. It's really irritating. Cody's dark eyes fixed on me, holding heavy emotions like his own scent. He leaned in close, his arms loosely embracing me, his voice hoarse. Let me cover it up, quickly, please. Surrounded by this unexpected rush of pheromones, my limbs turned soft. I could only stare as he moved closer. His tall, straight nose was about to brush my cheek. I instinctively closed my eyes, then heard the kitchen door creak open. I startled, my face flushed, fumbling to push him away. Ahem, you should go out and entertain our guest. I'll call you when I'm done cleaning up. In the living room, the little Omega shyly said, I'm so sorry for bothering you and your roommate. I was just wondering if you needed any help. Cody said nothing, frowning slightly when he heard the words roommate. The little Omega seemed to have an epiphany and corrected himself. Oh, your boyfriend. When I went out, I saw Cody smiling, his lips curved, seemingly in a good mood, as if he had secretly decided something. He went into the kitchen to prepare ingredients. The little Omega and I waited outside. Unexpectedly, the person who arrived was Leo. Leo leaned against the car, his eyes closed, and said gloomily, "I thought you'd sent me to the wrong address." "Asher, how many more Omegas do you plan to pick up?" My face flushed. "No, this time was just an accident." Leo gave me a resentful glance, then helped the little Omega into the car first, taking him home. The little Omega was a bit curious. "Leo, what's your relationship? I've never seen this friend of yours before." Leo pursed his lips, a little bashful. "My future partner. I'll officially introduce you all when I have the chance." The little Omega gasped, his expression complex. "Your love story is a bit more spectacular than I imagined." After Leo returned, he skillfully took over the task of setting out dishes and chopsticks. I sat between the two of them, taking on the role of being fed. Cody elegantly ladled soup beside me, truly looking like a host. He watched me intently eating, smiling. "How's the taste?" I nodded vigorously. If holding a person's stomach meant holding their heart, then I was completely conquered by Cody. He continued his offensive, his voice gentle, "As long as you want, I can cook for just you every day." Before I could answer, Leo clinked his chopsticks down, his voice sour beside me. "What's so great about cooking a little food? At most, I'll hire 8 chefs to take turns cooking." Cody chuckled, displaying a perfectly fake smile. "That would be too wasteful. You're welcome to freeload at my and Asher's home in the future. We'll treat you well." My ears buzzed. I picked up a few pieces of food for each of them, ending their childish argument. Cody snorted and turned to get rice. The dining table fell silent. While he was getting rice, I felt a foot nudge my calf. I stiffened, turning to look at Leo, my voice stammering with embarrassment. What are you doing?" "Put it down quickly." Leo didn't retreat but advanced, his expression innocent, but his actions under the table had nothing to do with his appearance. He exhaled a fragrant breath, his lips brushing my earlobe, watching it change color. "It's just a meal." "What's so good about that root alpha?" The orange scent spread. Leo blinked. "An Omega like me is more compatible with you. You liked my scent from the very beginning, didn't you?" I was caught in a whirlpool, almost merging with the orange scent, when a sharp gunpowder pheromone scent instantly sobered me. Cody placed a hand on the back of my chair, his expression gloomy. "What are you doing?" Leo looked innocent, pulling my arm coquettishly, his voice sharp. "Just talking to Asher. You're bothering us." Embarrassed, I broke free from my daze, pushing both of them down onto their chairs. "Eat your food. No fighting at the dinner table." After that meal, I sensed a subtle change. Cody and Leo seemed to have flipped a switch, competing to show off in front of me. I knew I wouldn't grow scent glands and intended to talk to them frankly. However, on the very night I planned to, Leo's heat arrived. Cody wasn't home, leaving just the two of us. I hurriedly helped the flushed Leo into the bedroom. The orange scent in the house was unusually strong. Leo weakly clutched my hand, his voice tearful. "Don't go, Asher. Please stay with me." My heart softened. After injecting Leo with suppressants, I lay down beside him. Leo hugged me, burying his face in my neck like a kitten. His soft hair brushed against me, making me ticklish. I felt a bit overwhelmed and wanted to push him away, but at this moment, Leo's strength was surprisingly powerful. The orange scent saturated me. I vaguely felt the back of my neck being rubbed, growing warm. Wait, I felt something wasn't right. I gasped, feeling a sharp pain behind me. "Leo, calm down." He heard me and released me, propping himself up on his hands on either side of my face, his voice full of doubt. "Asher, did you spray perfume today?" "Perfume? Why would he mention that?" I didn't have time to think. As we faced each other, the orange scent, thread by thread, intertwined around the back of my neck. I felt a little difficulty breathing, and my vision blurred. I vaguely saw him crawl up, anxiously calling on the phone and saying something. Cody, his face tense, rushed in, followed by several doctors in white coats. Before I passed out, I also smelled a faint scent. Who sprayed perfume and didn't put the cap back on? I tried to organize my thoughts, then immediately lost consciousness. When I opened my eyes again, a kind doctor in a white coat was grinning at me. "Congratulations, you had a successful delivery." I immediately widened my eyes, clutching the blanket in horror. What the hell? Who are you? Why are you in my room? Cody and Leo walked in. Leo frantically signaled with his eyes, wanting an explanation. Leo sat down beside the bed. His orange scent, originally pure, now carried an inexplicable sense of lingering attachment. The doctor spoke, no more jokes. The current situation is that you are now considered a semi-omega. I felt a bit uneasy, unconsciously grasping Leo's hand. What does that mean? The doctor sighed helplessly. It means you also have your own pheromones, but you don't have a heat period and cannot be marked. However, when exposed to high concentrations of pheromones, for a short period, you will feel something similar to being marked, and the higher the quality of the other person's pheromones, the greater the effect. My hand, holding Leo's, stiffened. I tried to subtly let go, but he held on tighter. I looked at the doctor, who added cryptically, of course, it's not limited by gender. After the doctor left, the room suddenly became quiet. Leo emitted a faint orange scent, lowering his head and rubbing against my shoulder, saying seriously, Asher, don't be afraid. I'll always be by your side from now on. Before I could speak, Cody looked up and retorted, when your heat comes, you'll need Asher to take care of you again. Don't cause any more trouble. Leo was displeased and scoffed. How are you any better? Who was it that hugged someone the first time they met? They continued to bicker, centering their attacks on each other's ABO gender and personality, without any modesty. My head was spinning. I could only silently cover my face with both hands, vaguely asking, why do you like me? They stopped arguing. Leo's voice became gentle. Why do you need so many reasons? It just feels right. Cody nodded, his voice also softening. Asher, you don't need to be insecure. I looked from one to the other, confused. In their encouraging gazes, I stammered, perhaps because I used to think. I whispered, you two are both excellent, and you're more likely to end up together. The moment I finished speaking, Leo and Cody unconsciously looked at each other, then simultaneously looked away as if struck by lightning. Cody's face crumpled. Asher, don't gross me out. Leo also nodded vigorously, then secretly leaned closer to me, saying weakly, I was so scared I passed out. I need Asher's hug to recover. I watched the scene and couldn't help but burst out laughing. I knew they were intentionally overacting to cheer me up and help me feel better after receiving the doctor's diagnosis. Cody sighed in relief and smiled at me. You don't need to rush to answer. Your feelings should be a decision made after careful consideration. For now, Cody too-dayed, narrowing his eyes at Leo, who the deer falls to is still unknown. Leo scoffed, a look of disdain on his face. I looked at them helplessly. Under the orange scent and the gunpowder pheromones, I peacefully drifted off to sleep. Time passed until graduation day. I noticed that Leo often left, always looking tired when he returned. Every time I tried to ask, Cody would coincidentally interrupt me. Another dinner. Cody wore an apron in the kitchen. I prepared the dishes and chopsticks. The hot pot was steaming, emitting a delicious aroma. I happily sat in the middle and announced, congratulations on our smooth graduation. Cheers. Leo and Cody also smiled, raising their glasses and downing their soft drinks. I was about to use this opportunity to ask Leo when I saw him answer a phone call. His expression wasn't great, but he still forced a smile at me. You two eat first. Asher, don't worry. The TV was still playing in the background, but with one person missing from the hot pot, the room immediately became half as quiet. I always felt uneasy, looking at Cody, and seriously asked, are you two hiding something from me? Cody looked a bit helpless. Wait for him to come back, then you can ask him. If there's anything, perhaps he'd rather tell you himself. I anxiously finished my meal, unable to sleep past midnight. After lying there for a while, I suddenly smelled gunpowder. My heart tightened. I got out of bed and knocked on Cody's door. Are you okay? Do you need any help? No one answered. I grabbed the suppressants and carefully pushed the door open. The room was pitch black. As I moved, I was suddenly pulled down by a hand. I reflexively cried out, then was dizzied by a gunpowder scent that was both gentle and strong. Cody's breathing was a bit hurried, his warm, moist breath fanning my cheek. Don't move. Let me hold you for a bit. Cody's voice was hoarse, holding me very tightly. I struggled, wanting to sit up. I know today isn't your heat. What's wrong with you anyway? Cody was silent for a moment, then said, I have to leave for a while tomorrow. Someone will come to stay with you then. This made my eyes widen. I hurriedly asked again, why? I told you two were hiding something from me. The scent suddenly became stronger, vaguely giving a sense of peace. I was enveloped in Cody's arms and scent. My aggressive tone softened, forced to slowly drift into sleep. A second before I fell asleep, I fought the urge to sleep, opened my mouth, and bit Cody's shoulder hard. You two are being so vague, it's killing me. I heard Cody chuckle softly, gently patting my back. Sleep, darling. The room was bright when I crawled out of bed. No one was beside me. A clattering sound came from the living room. I was happy and quickly walked over. You're back. The person in the living room turned around. It was the little Omega I had saved that day. He turned and grinned. We'll probably be seeing each other often from now on. You can just call me Ocean. I said nothing, just gave him a murderous glare. They sent you, didn't they? Confess. Ocean stiffened, forcing a smile and turning away. What? I don't know anything. I knew he wouldn't confess so easily. To pry information from him, I decided to begin my haunting mode. Ocean sat on the sofa. I peered over the back of the sofa, staring intently. Ocean went to his room. I stood at the foot of his bed. Ocean hurried to the restroom. I took out a roll of toilet paper, stood at the door, and coldly snorted, very coolly, Are you going to talk or not? He clung to the door, gritting his teeth. You win. When he stumbled out, I had already brewed tea and waited on the sofa. Ocean sighed. The Sue family and the Goof family won't allow their children to abandon their family's enterprises for this relationship. His voice was complex. Between paying a greater price and giving you up, they chose the former. They just didn't want to make things difficult for you, so they didn't tell you. Now they are officially entering the competition. Perhaps only when they truly have a say in the future can they do what they want. I silently looked at the teacup, not saying a word. Ocean noticed the somber atmosphere and started rambling. Oh, it's fine. Pressure is also motivation. Let me tell you, I've never seen them so strong before. I just shook my head. The next day, I asked Ocean to take some items to them. They were photos of us together. When he happily delivered them, he saw the expressions of the two change. By the time they rushed home, I was long gone. I told them I would start a new life on another continent. A long time later, I changed jobs and submitted an application to a new company. After a few rounds of interviews, I sat in the waiting room, awaiting a response. The overnight bus ride had made me a little tired. I secretly closed my eyes to rest. The main door gently twisted open, and a scent happily wafted through the gap from behind, reaching my nose. I opened my eyes and turned to stand up. Cody, in a stylish suit, his eyes slightly red, appeared before me. Before I could react, I was embraced by an ocean of orange scent. We met again. This is the end of the story. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support me.